related to the environmental impact statement being developed by the U.S. Corps of Engineering for the 75-foot channel deepening project. This was an item that I referenced on our long-range planning committee that we were recommending approval for the commission. Who's going to take that item? Staff?
Commissioner Sarah is calling in.
Good morning.
Oh, Sarah.
Good morning,
Sarah.
Commissioner. Sarah Garza, Director of Environmental Planning Compliance. Can you hear me okay? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So this agenda item is to request a 5-foot channel deepening project. This service order number 1 is presented for your approval, and it includes the waters of the U.S. and wetland delineations, seagrass surveys, and threatened and endangered species surveys for the beneficial use areas identified for receiving dredge material during the deepening project. This information is needed to evaluate the possible impacts and to ensure completion details for the identified shoreline restoration and habitat creation projects planned within the channel deepening project. This information will be included in the overall evaluation of the project in the draft environmental impact statement. And as you mentioned, this scope of service aligns with the action plan between the Port and the Corps of Engineers that was presented to the Long Range Planning Committee on March 8th. The Mott MacDonald Master Services Agreement from 2018 has expired. Therefore, this item also includes approval of a new Master Services Agreement with Mott MacDonald and Service Order number 1 in the amount of $557,208 for this work.
Thank you, Sarah.
Sir, was this in the budget? Do you know if this is in the budget for this year?
Yes, sir. This is a budgeted item for this year.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from commissioners? I have one, Sarah. It says in your memo, it says the development of comprehensive report summarizing the results of the field work will also be included as services under, it's this service order? Is this part of the fee, or is it going to be an additional fee for that?
No, sir. That is included in this service order. They will complete a full report detailing all the survey work that they did.
Okay, fantastic.
Mr. Chair, you know, it would be helpful, so I wouldn't have to ask that question every time, and most of the time it's there, but on the financial impact, it should state that it's in the 2021 budget.
Commissioner Engel, that's a great suggestion. We will certainly impart that for all commission memos, and that's a great catch. I didn't realize we weren't doing that. So we will certainly ask staff to indicate in the financial impact going forward on any agenda item that has a financial implication, if it is indeed a budgeted item or not.
They usually do a pretty good job at it, but this time it was just missed. But good point, Commissioner Engel. I'll entertain a motion at this time to approve that item.
I'll make the motion, but then I want to make a comment after it's.
It's been moved by Commissioner Gully. Second by Commissioner Engel. Go ahead, Commissioner Engel.
I would love to have a briefing on where we are with that particular project. I know we've just talked about it over the years. I see that this is long-range planning, which is great, but I think it would be really interesting for us to really kind of understand the intent and where we want to go with the channel deepening, other than what we've already under progress. Thank you.
I believe staff has recently prepared a updated budget for that particular project. Is that accurate? Budget to date?
We've inventoried, we have a clear plan for implementation for outstanding items, and so we know what we're looking at for completion of that EIS based on the updated gap analysis that the Corps did for us in the fall.
Okay.
And we can certainly capture costs.
I'm not just interested in the financial aspect of it, but just really what our goal is, and just kind of refresh us on what we're trying to do here.
And what venue would you like that?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you, Sean.
Okay. No, I'm going to leave it up. Sean, I think we need to leave it up to legal, because it can't, necessarily, unless it's at an open LRP meeting. How about that venue be the next open LRP meeting?
We certainly can do that, yeah. And remember, this is a project that it's in the permitting phase, and it's at the federal level, and it's running through a discrete process under a piece of legislation called the FAST Act, and it's what's called a FAST 41 dashboard project. It's the only coastal navigation construction project that is running through that process in the entire country. And that's essentially being run by a organization called the Federal Permitting Reform Steering Committee, which is the marshaller, if you will, or the facilitator to carry the application through all the federal agencies that have responsibility to weigh in on it with a prescribed time frame of 24 months per President Trump's Executive Order 13807. So it's a new process, certainly for us.
Where, on that 24-month timeline, where are we?
So we're anticipating April of 2022 is what we're on track for right now, for issuance of the permit.
Commissioner Engel, would it be appropriate, if we've made a commitment, and I actually think it's in our operating procedures to have an open LRP meeting once a quarter. So if we do that this quarter, would that be appropriate? Let's go ahead and staff, if y'all would make that happen, that'd be great. Let's move on. Item 10D, and I believe this is going to be Sarah as well. Approve interagency agreement with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ, awarding the port with a $1 million Port Authority Study and Pilot Program, PASPP grant for conducting a pilot study to reduce emissions for vessels that berth at Avery Point Terminal. It's Leslie.
Hi, I just want to make sure, I'm not, can we get clarity? Did we vote on that item? I think that we had a motion and a second and discussion, but I don't know that we voted.
Did we? Not vote. I
Call for the vote.
apologize. That's my inexperience there. So we'll go back to item 10C. We have a motion by Mr. Gully, a second by Commissioner Engel. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.